they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets.
Welcome to Graybo's Giblets, part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Car Network. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets to handicap these games yourself. We do that for you and bring you our picks each week so you can have some confidence heading into the weekend or walking up to the window. We're out here dropping giblets, and we might drop a few giblets about sports cards while we are here. I'm your host, Graybo, and I'm joined by always Denny One Time and Fitz. We are here to break down the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. It's going to be a great weekend. How we doing, fellas?
Feeling good, man. Ready for an action-packed weekend.
Yeah, same. Very excited about that.
We'll get into that. Fitz had an interesting weekend last weekend, and I'm sure he's very nervous about the 49ers this weekend. With the Packers winning, I think you'd rather see the Tampa Bay Bucks. Packers are hot. How do you feel? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. The Niners have had some pretty good success against the Packers recently in the playoffs. Obviously, what they just did, dismantling Dallas, was a bit concerning. But if you heard Shanahan's press conference, he said he started planning for the Packers.
Love that.
Midway through the second quarter.
That was great.
And he's had LaFleur's number here as of late. So, yeah, it'll be a good game. We'll kind of get into my play on that. It's a pretty big line. I think both offenses will have pretty good success. So I don't think they're going to take Jordan Love lightly. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I'm better suited watching those games by myself. My family leaves, where I go and isolate myself. I kind of turn into a little bit of a psychopath when I watch them. Especially come playoff time.
And what you were telling me is Colleen thought you were a psycho watching the golf this weekend as well. So we want to get into that a little bit. It was the Sony Open last weekend. If you're not a golf fan, this is just still a great, funny betting story. We kind of were all over the board. Like, Denny had Henley, who was leading for a second. I had Poston, who was leading for a second on Sunday. But Fitz had Benny on, who makes this playoff, had a big chance to win. He also had Keegan Bradley out of nowhere. He didn't say that he had Keegan, and then we saw his ticket. Keegan Bradley at 55-1. I think On was at 35-1. Both guys made it to the playoff. Shouldn't have been in the playoff. I think Keegan should have easily won on 18, one of the easiest holes on the course. All he had to do was birdie. And I say all he had to do was birdie, but people were eagling that hole all weekend.
Yep.
And then there's this guy, Grayson Murray. Not a big fan of Grayson.
No.
A lot of people don't like him. Shouldn't even have been in the playoff, and I'll let Fitz take it from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if you were watching, right, I think it was 18 T. He smoked it out of bounds, or not out of bounds, but in a terrible lie. I forget if it was the 18th or the playoff. He got that nice relief drop, but he made the most of it. He got it in there, and then got into the playoff. And I'm like, okay, well, I got two of the three guys here.
So I'm sure you hedged safely.
Yeah, no, I didn't, even though I love to hedge.
And he's one of the best hedgers in the world.
When you have Keegan and On against Murray, you feel pretty confident that one of those guys is going to come out on top. And from, I think it was 38 feet, and I was sitting next to Colleen, and I was just like, hey, we're actually going to win some money. And she always rolls her eyes because I say that every time we watch any sporting event. And I'm like, as long as this guy misses his extremely long putt, and then he starts rolling it, and it starts tracking, and it looks really good. I was like, as long as he just misses this really, really long putt that's so improbable to make, and then he sinks it, and I just grab a pillow and just scream into it. But I'm like, okay, well, no big deal. Benny on.
Couple other chances.
Keegan's out at this point. He's not going to make it, but Benny on's 4 feet away, so he'll tap that in. We'll go to a second playoff, and we have live to.
Then you can hedge.
Yeah, and then at that point, I can get out of it a little bit, and then he just
totally
misses it.
Missed it.
Well,
the best part is on the tee shot of the playoff, Keegan fairway,
right
on decent shot. Murray hooks it left behind some trees. Has can't get there in two. Has to lay up, shooting his third shot, and his third shot was terrible. And then he buries the putt. Yeah. So you could have looked at that live. I think Keegan, your bet with having Keegan on, you probably were 98%, 99%. To win that bet.
Yeah, I felt
it's insane.
I felt like I was stolen from. It's a risk every gambler takes, but I literally felt like you come back to your car and your window's busted out and your belongings are missing. That's how I felt. That's happened. So I know that feeling.
Who's the thief?
Grayson Murray and his caddy for giving him that amazing read. I was listening to him at post conference. He saw, I guess, round before one of the other guys had the same putt, and he saw exactly how it went. It looks like it's going right. He was like, just leave it high and it'll stay. And he was right.
And
it was a heck of a putt.
I mean, it was right in the middle.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Like I was like, this is from like 5 feet away. I was like, this is in.
Yeah.
Perfect speed.
I hate when I can't enjoy things like that as a golf fan too. Yeah. Like I should have just been able to enjoy.
I enjoyed your misery.
I know you did. So.
I knew you had.
I'm dead, and Dick's like, no way, unbelievable.
Good way to start the season.
Oh yeah, good way. But to go off your misery, and you weren't part of this. Me and Duke had On and Keegan in some DraftKings and had a good weekend. So sorry you weren't part of that either.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't included.
Move on.
Moving along.
All right, let's get into kind of the recap of Wild Card Weekend. I did not have the best week betting-wise or predicting, but we still have a lot of teams that are left that I have a lot of money on, and I'm excited to see the 49ers and Bills this weekend. Duke was the best at 4-2. Big win with the Bucs and Texans. The only team you lost in round 2 is the Cowboys. Cowboys, man. Let's talk about them real quick.
Yeah. I basically teased everything. I was 5-1 regular spread. Teased. I was still 5-1. We thought I had this like vision of the Cowboys emerging out of this, and they lost a game they should have won. They lost badly. Exactly. It's like the narrative got worse.
Yeah, and McCarthy, like, I mean, he's coming back next year. Yeah, it's
getting out coached.
He's going to have like it's NFC Championship or bust for him, right, next year, or he's done. So you're going to have all that pressure next year for the Cowboys as well. Rams lost, but they covered. That is one bet that I did take. They had the opportunity to win that game, but I'm so glad the Lions won. I'm rooting for them. Definitely to go as far as they can. But my heart's with the 49ers this year, Fitz, because I got so much money on them.
I love when you do that.
Fitz went 3-3. His big bets were Dolphins and Eagles. Those were the plays. I was totally wrong with the Eagles. Man, there's something wrong in that locker room. Fitz, you want to discuss your picks?
Yeah, I just don't have a read. Obviously, I just believed in the Eagles more than anybody else.
I'm with you.
And I got some feedback on that from our good friend Derek. Not giving the Bucs any love there. And then, yeah, the Dolphins, Duke, I'll have to concede you were right.
Right.
They completely took away what the Dolphins wanted to do. And the Chiefs are now back to the Chiefs, which is very annoying. I heard someone say that they're the new Patriots, where they can do whatever they want, and then the postseason comes and they just revert back to the juggernaut that they are. So that's I'm not a huge Chiefs fan. I'm still bitter from the Super Bowl loss. So yeah, I think they're back. It's a scary matchup this week for the Bills.
Well, I think let's talk about the final history, right? They playing at home and a huge home advantage. Both Mahomes and Kelsey are now.
Except Mike. Was it not on?
Wasn't on. So see how that turns out.
Good.
Yeah.
We're live.
The sound check was working. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Anyways, I hope you could hear me throughout that.
We have another mic too, so
that's all right. We're good.
But this doesn't go through that, right?
We're good.
This goes to that, right?
It does.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving on.
Moving along.
I only got the Bills and Chiefs right. I was wrong on the Browns, Eagles, Cowboys, Rams. But I do this every year. I was like, the chalk always hits, except for the Packers. We have the chalk besides the Cowboys. I lost the Eagles in round 2. I did not have the Cowboys advancing, so I'm kind of stuck. You guys both have the Cowboys out around the divisional as well. So we still have our Super Bowl pick, so we're still on line for that. So let's go to this week's games. We have a 4-game slate. Remember, you can go on Whatnot and get $15 by joining through whatnot.sportscardstrategy.com. This is our board segment. We are going to go over each game, see if we have any picks. Saturday slate, 4:35. We have the 4 seed Houston Texans and CJ Stroud at the number 1 seed Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are -9.5. Denny, anything for this game? You betting any way? Over, under, spread, tease, anything?
Houston, Baltimore is what you said, correct?
Correct.
You'll hear in a minute. I'm going to tease all the games. I think I'm still considering against the spread bet with Ravens -9.5. Obviously, love CJ, love the Texans, but I do think Baltimore. I think they're going to roll. Again, we got a week off. They're playing at home. I like the home team here, so I'm definitely going to tease the Ravens, and we'll get to that in a second. But for now, if you ask me for my lean, it's just Ravens -9.5 is my lean.
All right. And to recap, Duke went Rams +3, won that. Tampa Bay, you won that. Bills -9.5, won that. You had the teaser until the Cowboys. You had it. So leaning Ravens. Mark Andrews is back as well. Huge weapon for them offensively. After I thought he was done for the year, I can't believe they get him back for the playoffs. They're going to be hard to beat now. Their offense is full force. Fitz, do you have a lean for this game after 0-2 Dolphins +4.5 and Eagles -3 were two L's?
Nope, that's already been referenced in this podcast. Don't need to bring that up again. I think this one's tough. The Ravens are by far the better team. The Mark Andrews news is massive. The Houston already can't stop anything in the pass game, so that just is another weapon for Lamar. The wind and weather could be an issue. I was initially looking at the under here, but I'm actually just going to stay away from it because I've bet too many games this year expecting weather and not getting it. With this one, I think that Baltimore also has a tough time kind of closing out teams. I'm just going to stay off. I'm going to pass on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore is covering and then they get backdoored by the Texans. So
right,
I don't really have a lean either way.
Yeah, I think 9.5 is a lot of points. I'm staying away from this game too. I will throw in a teaser with Houston at 15.5 or 16.5. That's a lot of points. I think they can cover that. CJ Stroud wins this game. Where are his cards going to go?
So they're already at the moon.
They're already at the moon.
What's past the moon?
The universe.
Duke's
what are you doing?
He's looking up the solar system.
I bet the Ravens. Well,
I bet the Ravens.
I talked myself into it.
While we were talking. I actually, if I had to, I just been betting the Texans all year, and they've been very good to me. So I would lean Houston 9.5. Like Fitz said, I think Baltimore would be leading all the way to the fourth quarter, and somehow a late touchdown Houston covers. I think the Ravens are going to win comfortably here, but I do think Houston can backdoor this. But I'm going to stay away from it. I am going to throw a teaser where the Texans are like 15.5, maybe 16.5, just to make sure. Yes, sir.
And then I never bet props, but I'm betting Gus Edwards anytime touchdown.
Like that. And then Nico Collins is over, whatever it is. Bet it. So let's go to the next game, Saturday, the night game. Green Bay, one of the hottest teams right now, the 7 seed, Jordan Love. His cards are also doing very well. At San Francisco, the 1 seed, McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, -9.5. The 49ers are also -9.5. Do we have any leans for this game? Fitz, since this is your team.
Yeah, normally I would always take the points. For this particular matchup, just with the way the Packers have been playing, they've played 5 the last 6 games on the road. They've had to play a lot. They played a lot of high-intensity games. The Niners are obviously well-rested after not starting anybody hardly on week 18, week 19, whatever the last week of the season is, and then having the bye. They match up really well against the Packers. I think both, like I said earlier, both offenses should find success here. I think Kittle has a big game. I would prop Kittle. I think McCaffrey has a big game. The Packers are not going to be able to stop the running game, but the Niners might not be able to stop the Packers' passing game. So I hope the game script, my lean is not going to be a side. It's going to be the total. I'm going to take the over, the highest total of the weekend, 50.5. My hope is that the game script is the Packers are trailing and that Love is slinging it, and I think he'll find success passing it around. I also need the Packers to play a little bit faster to get to that number. So they've been taking a long time on their. Obviously, some of that was last week with trying to run the clock out and get out of there, not blow anything. So yeah, my lean is going to be, or my my lean is going to be Niners to cover, but I'm going to play the over 50.5.
Yeah, I'm. Every sharp I listen to is all over Green Bay taking the points. I don't think they think they're going to win. They think they're going to cover. I'm not comfortable taking the points at 9.5. I am going to tease the Packers up to 6-point tease. I get to 15.5. I'm going to pair them with the Bills. I can get the Bills to plus 3.5, and that's probably all I'm doing. Like I can clearly see this playing out as the Niners win big. I can also see it playing out as the Packers keep it close and even sneak out a victory. But I don't believe in either scenario enough to take a stance. But I think if I can get more than 2 touchdowns, I'm okay taking the points.
For me, this is my favorite bet of the week is not the spread with this game. I'm going to stay away from that. But the over 50.5, my favorite play of the weekend. San Francisco's offense, Green Bay is not going to stop them. But like Fitz said, he knows his team the best. Jordan Love's going to be slinging. I think they score enough points to get that over in the 49ers win. But I am scared of that 9.5. I definitely could see the 49ers blowing them out. I don't see the Packers blowing them out. So I just want to stay away from that and just bet the over and enjoy a lot of points in a 49ers win. How about that? So that's my favorite play of the week, actually, is the over 50.5. So let's cash it. Third game was we go to Sunday, 4-seed Baker and the Tampa Bay Bucks at America's team. This is America's team, not the Cowboys. The Detroit Lions. The Lions are minus 6.5. Got to be rooting for the Lions, but that's a lot of points, fellas. What are we doing here? That's 6.5 is a lot. What are we doing, Denny?
I'm leaning pretty heavily to Detroit at home here. Laporta is playing with that knee brace, right? He's playing.
Scored last week, too.
He did, just hopping around. I am definitely teasing the Lions, doing a 7-point tease with the Ravens. So the Ravens can get down to under a field goal, and Lions is basically like a pick 'em. I do like the Lions team total over 27.5, and I like the over in this game as well. I do think there'll be some points. Lions score a lot at home in a dome. So that's my favorite play is Detroit over 27.5.
When you're in a dome, play the overs, right?
Yeah.
Fitz, what are you leaning for this game?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Denny there, probably on both.
How about that? Y'all agreeing with each
Yeah,
other?
how about that? Definitely this is an over. Obviously, I struggled last week picking sides, so I'm gonna go to the totals this week. The 2 highest totals are my 2 favorite plays, and this is the second highest behind the Niners Packers. So I'll take the over in this game. I would lean Detroit to cover Tampa Bay. I feel like this game, when I was just like, if I had to guess the odds when it came out, I would expect this line to be shorter. Not to take anything away from the Bucks. They've played well, and they played really well, but the Eagles could not tackle anybody. They were the worst team in football over the last month and a half. So it might say more about where the Eagles are. Baker's been buzzing, man. He's been playing really, really well. They
got that swag.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to him, man. Like he could have just ran and hid and tucked his tail. We never heard from him again. And he's starting in the second round of the playoffs. Yep. It's amazing.
Yep. They still got guys, so
their offense is good.
They're good. But I think that people worry about a letdown game for Detroit after that big emotional home win. But coming back home, I think this is a different Lions team. So I would lean towards the Lions covering. Getting kind of chalky with my plays here, but
chalk hits.
But I'm going to go with the over.
All right. For me, who was the Lions secondary guy that started talking shit?
Gardner
on Baker, saying their offense, like they had a different quarterback. Their offense is really good. Like, dude, what are you doing?
CJ Gardner Johnson.
Just adding fire. To
you hear Baker's response?
Yeah. What'd he say?
He was like, well, he mentioned Russell Gage, and Russell Gage hasn't played a snap.
Oh, yeah. He mentioned Russell Gage. He's like,
watch more film.
Yeah, he's been watching old tape. Yeah.
So I could see the Bucks giving them a game here. I do not like 6.5. Earlier in the week, it was 5.5. If you got the Lions minus 5.5, I like that. I might pay to go down to minus 5.5 Lions at home. team of destiny here. I'm definitely putting the Lions in my teaser. I will tease the Lions down to just money line, just get out of there with a win. This is a very intriguing game, though, for sure. Baker and that, like Fitz said, the Bucs have some good players on offense with Godwin, Evans, White running the ball, and Baker has been slinging it. So this is going to be a high-scoring game. I agree with that. Might have to play a little bit of the over as well, but I do think the Lions get out with the victory, and we are saying the Detroit Lions, fellas, are going to the NFC Championship. Wow. Unbelievable. All right, let's go to the last game on the slate. Probably my favorite game on the slate. That's why they save it for Sunday at 6:35. The 3 seed, Kansas City and Mahomes, finally has an away game. He's played at home besides the Super Bowl at a neutral site every year in the playoffs, which is crazy to think about. Now he has to go to Buffalo. Kansas City has had Buffalo's number in the playoffs, but Buffalo has had Kansas City's number in the regular season, and now Kansas City has to go to Buffalo. This is an exciting matchup. Josh Allen versus Mahomes. The Bills are getting 2.5. Who do we like?
Yeah, well, you referenced it. You like this schedule for this one being the last game. I think they actually nailed all 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly how, well, selfishly, I would want the Niners first, so my anxiety doesn't have to build up all throughout Saturday. But I think for the viewer, this is the best possible schedule they could have come up with. But I said earlier that the Chiefs are starting to scare me. And obviously, I'm rooting for the Bills because of the future tickets. And I just would prefer the Bills advance. I'm going to wait on this one. I don't know that it ever gets to 3. I would take the Chiefs plus 3 if I could get it. I might look at buying the half point. That would be the play for me. If nothing else, I'm probably just going to sit back and enjoy this game and just hope the Bills win and or look at some live opportunities.
Will you enjoy it if the 49ers are out?
No, obviously not. I'll be in a sour mood all day Sunday, and then by Wednesday I'll get over it.
Well, I'm sure your golf bets will cheer you up.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
that's what I'll do. I didn't get enough golf bets because I just didn't have time to do the research this week. But I'll have to definitely start putting in some more plays so I can watch something else.
So if you've ever listened to this podcast ever, you know I've lost a lot of money on Dak and Josh Allen. And so Dak be Dakin sometimes, and Josh be Joshin sometimes. But I'm going back to the well. I believe in second chances. I believe in growth. I believe in somebody like an Andy Murray in tennis who kept getting to the final and losing. And I kept betting on Andy Murray. And he finally won his first Grand Slam, and I was excited about that. And that's how I feel about Josh Allen and the Bills. They're at home. They're laying less than a field goal. I think the Chiefs are okay, but it's not their year. I think this is the time to get over the hump. So I'm definitely taking the Bills minus 2.5, and I'm also teasing them 6 points to get plus 3.5. And I like both of those bets, and I'm not scared, Fitz. I'm not afraid.
No, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Or weather potentially coming to Buffalo, which could make it fun.
Scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
I am with the Bills here. It's Buffalo time.
Let's go.
2.5.
Let's go.
Minus 2.5. Josh Allen at home. This is it. This is the game right here.
If he doesn't do it, if he plays bad and throws 2 picks or has 2 fumbles, are we done with Josh?
I'm done.
So this is it. We're drawing a line in the sand.
Okay. I'm there.
I guarantee you'll be.
But I would hate this spread if it got to 3 or 3.5. Would hate it. Would stay away. But minus 2.5. I'm taking Buffalo. It's time at home. That's all I gotta say. Let's go. Let's go Bills. Bills Mafia. Kelsey even loves their fans. So I love Josh Allen. All right, looking at our futures for the playoffs, we have a lot of tickets that are still alive. Denny, the Ravens, has the Bills at every number you can guess. Cowboys to win the NFC are out. The Eagles to win the NFC are out. The NFC East is toast. Any other futures to add? You have some. You took some long shots with the Texans and Green Bay. You had Green Bay at 90-1. I did that with you and got Green Bay at 100-1. Got them a couple times. Was able to cash out some tickets for a profit in let one of the tickets ride. So very excited with that. Thank you for that knowledge.
They're both down to 30.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. So very happy with
You
that.
checking out your cash out right now?
I did have the Rams at 50-1. That's I did not have the Texans, but I had the Rams. Kind of played the same way. They did not advance. So Denny, anything to add with your futures? Anything you're excited about?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add anything new. It's just decision points now of cash out or not. So obviously I lost the Cowboys and Eagles futures, which is fine. I'm letting the Ravens and all my Bills futures ride, San Francisco future ride. And so really I did put in a Ravens to win it all bet. Obviously going to let that ride. And then the long shot bets, I did my driblets strategy, which we outlined last week. I did 3 bets on Green Bay, and I just cashed one of them out for a 2x, and then I'm gonna let the other 2 ride, just see what happens. Because I mean, the upside is huge, and same with the Texans. I had that didn't move enough. The Texans didn't move enough for me to cash it out, so I'm just letting those ride. If I lose them, I lose them. But if they happen to win this game, then it's going to shoot way up.
Yeah.
Like it only went up like 20%, whereas the Green Bay future went up 100%. So I cash one Green Bay, letting everything else ride.
And then you said you're letting all the Bills tickets ride. You have 4 of them: 28-1, 26-1, 18-1, 9-1. You're letting all those
I'm
ride
gonna let 'em
against
ride.
Kansas City.
They're going to beat Kansas City this weekend.
Wow, a lot of faith in Josh.
Yep.
A lot of faith. Fitz, 49ers, have them 10-1 to win it all. 49ers and Bills Super Bowl matchup, 30-1 preseason. Woo! You did add the Cowboys last week at 8-1, so that is toast. Anything new to talk about?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Since I mushed the Cowboys, I think I'm gonna mush the Chiefs now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Chiefs.
There you go.
7-1.
Mush 'em.
That'll kind of hedge a little bit of if they knock out the Bills. That'll kill a lot of my futures. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some Chiefs 7-1 to win it all.
Love it. I had Rams 50-1 there, done. Did the Denny driblets. The Packers was able to cash out a ticket, make some nice money, but letting my big one ride. So if the Packers do beat the 49ers, I can be happy a little bit. But I have so much money on the 49ers right now. Preseason Bills, AFC champs, 49ers, NFC, and then Bills 49ers final. So big Bills fan this week, big 49ers fan this week. I'm with you, Fitz. I'm a fan, man. Let me come over and watch. Come over.
You can come over.
Invite us over, man.
Yeah, why don't you ever invite me over, man?
Yeah, man.
I'm busy Sunday. Sorry. Thanks for the invite, though.
All right. So we're moving on to the card segment. And when you think of trading cards in NFL, you think of the quarterbacks. For me, that's where you make your money. And there are some pretty damn good quarterbacks this week. We have Lamar, Stroud, Mahomes, and Josh Allen in the AFC. Can't get better than that. The chalk, 1 through 4. You have Purdy, Love, Goff, Mayfield in the NFC. So you would have told me those were the 4 quarterbacks going in the year for the NFC. I wouldn't believe you. So let's talk about a few of these guys. Denny, I know you have some notes on all these guys.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I'll just go through each quarterback, kind of my thoughts on their card market, and y'all feel free to interrupt me and chime in. So starting with Lamar, been waiting forever for Lamar selling season. It still isn't quite here yet.
It's not there yet.
I think, let's say if you want to take the driblets theory with him and you have 2 or 3 Lamars, I might not sell any of them yet. And if after they win this weekend, I might sell one. And then if they get to the Super Bowl, I might sell another before the Super Bowl. I have a feeling they're going to lose to the Bills when they play them. That's still what my gut tells me. So I would cash out one of those tickets after they win this weekend. But you still haven't had a great Lamar selling season ever since I've been in the hobby. CJ, obviously his cards are to the moon already. I think I'm definitely selling all CJs this week if I had any. And if he wins again, dear God, it's going to, I mean, like the prices are so inflated compared to everyone else right now.
It is selling season.
Yeah.
For Stroud.
If you haven't already sold, he just won a playoff game as a rookie. That was your chance. Mahomes, I think for his cards to move significantly, I think his cards are going to just go up with inflation over time as a GOAT, and he's not going to have a big spike. A third Super Bowl would do it. Anything short of that, maybe if it's a really gutsy win this weekend or next weekend, like gets to the Super Bowl, maybe that moves his cards, but it takes a lot to move a GOAT. But a third Super Bowl does put you in a kind of new echelon.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Mahomes is pretty steady with his cards. He definitely needs a third Super Bowl. A loss or a win, I don't think it's going to move the needle a lot for him. And then CJ, it is sell.
Yeah.
For Stroud right now. And especially if he wins this week. Oh, my God, dear God.
Yeah. So moving along to Josh Allen. This is his chance. Like Dak did not change his narrative. He made it worse. This is Josh's chance. Rematch with Patrick. Massive game for his card market. If they can really get to the Super Bowl and do it, then the narrative is changed on Josh and his cards go back up. If he loses this weekend, oh buddy, him and Dak's cards, oof, not good.
Not good. This is a big weekend for Josh.
It is for me and my family.
For us too.
Yeah.
For us too, because we could be done with him.
Trip, if you're listening and you want to go to college, you may want Josh Allen to win this weekend.
In the NFC,
yeah,
Purdy,
mm-hmm.
Love is now kind of that number 2 behind Stroud. His cards are really taking off.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Goff staying in the market? And we getting out the Baker rookies?
So all 4 of these very interesting weekend for them. So let's start with Purdy. Will he come out flat? His last real game, he didn't play too well, right? A couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he was the darling before CJ was the darling, right, of the card market. And if he comes out flat, I think the narrative changes a little negatively for him. Like I think his juiced up prices may simmer and come down. And now, obviously, if he comes out and is dominant and makes it to the Super Bowl, I think there's room for growth. But his cards are already pretty expensive. Jordan Love, we said it last week. I think the playoffs for Jordan Love, he has the best opportunity to soar in prices. And you saw last week why, right? He played almost perfect. The Green Bay is way better right now than everyone thought they were going to be 2 months ago. And so if he wins again, watch out. I think the difference between, like, let's say Jordan Love and Goff, in my opinion, is Goff has been around a while and already like done some good and some bad. And even if they win this weekend, they're going to love him in Detroit. So like his card market will be fine there. But there's not this like potential for Goff to be a GOAT, right? But Jordan Love, it's his first time starting this year. The way he's played the last 8 weeks, if they win this weekend, oh man, like I think that he jumps right to the conversation as like one of the highest priced quarterbacks.
That rookie title does a lot for cards.
Yeah. He's not a rookie, but it's his first year starting, right? So same thing, right? Like he's never had a bad year.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
He goes into Dallas and then San Francisco and knocks off 2 what people consider the best 2 top 3 teams. That's
yeah. I mean this is when like legends are made, right? Like this is why Josh Allen, when he played well and lost in the playoffs against Mahomes, right? That's why everybody was on Josh Allen because he was young, really first time in that scenario, and he wowed in that game. And if Jordan Love has another game like that, I just think it's so.
Yeah, he was able to change the sudden death playoff rule.
Right.
They want Josh to get the ball.
right. I see that coming to fruition this week. We haven't had one yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And finally, Baker Mayfield. He's real interesting. Like, I'm not buying any Mayfield. If I had any, I think I would probably sell it this week. I think, again, I never thought you'd have a selling season for him again. But here it is. Now's your time to sell Baker Mayfield right now.
Awesome. And if you're looking to look up prices, sell, or buy, Market Movers. Save 20% after a free 14-day trial. Visit themarketmoversapp.com and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON. Well, fellas, this is going to be a great weekend. Any closing statements?
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Josh Allen. I'm rooting for Fitz's Niners.
What is the party teaser? Let's do it right now. We got 3 guys. We got to vote.
How many games?
First game, we're doing all 4. Party teaser.
Yeah.
We got 4 picks. Texans or Ravens. Going up with the Texans and getting points, or are we going down in the Ravens? My vote's Texans. Denny's Ravens. You're the
Ravens.
All right, so we take Ravens. All right, next game, 49ers, Packers. 49ers 9.5. I got to go 49ers here.
This is 7-point teasers?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go down.
You want to go down?
Then my vote doesn't matter.
Your vote doesn't matter because he would have said Packers. I see this is good to disagree a little bit. All right, third game, right? Third game is
Tampa,
Detroit. Thank you. I would have to say go down Detroit here.
Detroit.
We
didn't care.
Detroit it is. And then Kansas City, Buffalo. This one's hard. Start with Fitz.
I'll go Kansas City.
Buffalo. Suck it, Fitz.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, so we're going Baltimore, San Francisco. We're going chalk. Detroit, Buffalo.
4 home teams.
4 home teams.
Teased
For
all the
just win.
Going through 0.
In poker, they have like an expression called "play for rolls," meaning like play for all your money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play for rolls
All right,
on that
let's do
parlay.
it. Let's do it. All right, that's going to be all today. Good luck with your bets and ride with us with that party teaser. Thanks to our listeners for riding with Graybos, and be sure to tune in next time. Leave us that 5-star review. Shout out Enzo.
Driblets.
Closed eyes when I go to sleep, I don't see sheep, see dollar signs. $100 got him beat the eyes for the 100th time at a money line. Brock Purdy was irrelevant, now I'm at the front like a cutting line. G5 to the power 5, Grable's on fire like it's summertime. I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window?